there's dirt on my hands.
YouTube boss Rino, welcome to my channel. So ito try natin to, slap ham. 'Di ba? Ito yung karuktong ng mga iba pa niya kasi ang haba nito, hinati-hati ko lang. So viewers can't believe what been caught on camera. So ito, wag na natin patagalin. Tirahin natin to bago pa tirahin ng iba. Oh, para Pipoy Tandok 'yun. Nagagaya ko na si Pipoy Tandok, idol ko 'yun eh.
Taking pictures in the mirror is usually a fun activity for most people to do together.
Oh, yung mga nagsa-selfie, ang hilig nyo mag-selfie sa salamin. Ako, dati mahilig ako sa ganyan, iniwasan ko na. Mahirap na.
Unfortunately, for Reddit user Bedaily13, what was supposed to be a fun mirror picture with her sister turned into an unnerving mystery. In the picture, we see a fogged up mirror with a finger-drawn heart right in the middle, presumably with the sister's name scribbled inside of it. We can also make out the two sisters posing, but what we see in between the girls is what makes this photo a scary puzzle. In between the sisters are what seem to be
Hoy, ano yan?
two ghostly figures,
Diyos
with
ko,
one
sabi
standing
ko.
above the other as they both look into the mirror with the girls.
Gago, nakakatakot tong ganito. Oh, sige,
The
taas ang kamay sa mahilig mag-selfie sa
The
salamin.
poster explained that her house was originally built in the 1960s, but there was no abnormal history that took place in the house that she knows of, even after doing some extensive research on its background. Other Reddit users suggested that the two boyish figures could have been siblings in another time who wanted to join in on the photo and believe there's no huge threat to the girls. Still, the mystery of who these boys are and why they chose this particular house to appear is a puzzle to everyone who's seen the
Nakita nyo ba? Ito siya oh. Ito siya oh. Ito yung talagang magkapatid tong dalawang to. Ito nasa gitna. Ito yun oh. Tamo, nakakatakot oh.
photo. This unsettling photo was submitted to Reddit by user Red Desert Cowboy.
Ayoko talaga ng
The
photo.
uploader claims the photo was taken in 2012 during a demolition of the old East Junior High School in Wyoming.
Yari.
A woman on site was documenting the demolition of the historic building when one of the photos seemed to capture something more than a record of posterity. In the photo, a figure stands among the rubble. It appears to be a woman in a white dress. Her head is bent on an unnatural angle.
Ayun nga eh. Okay na yung merong naka-white dress dyan, pero yung nakaganon pa yung ulo, mas nakakatakot eh.
A second, lightened version of the photo shows the figure in more detail. Many of the comments on Reddit made the connection between the frightful image and the bent neck lady, featured in Netflix's horror series Haunting of Hill House. The uploader claims the old building dates back to around the 1920s and that it was used as a brothel for a period of time. It then became a home of education where students often reported seeing ghostly figures in darkened areas of the hallways. There's no indication of who this woman in white might be. There appears to be no deaths linked to the property, so why then are there so many reports of ghostly activity? Until further information comes to hand, this freaky bent neck lady will have to remain an unsettling mystery.
Ayoko makakita ng ganyang picture. Bahala kayo dyan.
Houses where menacing figures once lived have often been the setting of many a horror film. While they're terrifying themselves in the movie world, they become even more frightening
Tiyan mo naman to, nakakatakot na yung tsura. Oh. Maganda sana eh, kaya lang puro kahoy.
when
Nakakatakot.
one visits these houses in real life. Slaptam viewer Christopher G proves why this is so, with the photograph he shared originally sent to him by a friend who visited an old home with plenty of history. In the photograph, we see a room that appears to be an attic with objects and furniture strewn about. While the camera's focus seems to be a pink chair covered with an American flag, something more sinister catches our eyes in the upper left-hand corner.
So,
Here we can make out a translucent figure standing and looking in the direction of the photographer. While the bottom half of the figure is harder to make out, the head of the figure is more defined, looking like a man with a darkened face. The photographer didn't initially notice the figure until the photo was posted online.
babae, no?
The figure becomes even more frightening once the history of the house is brought into context.
Babae nga.
The house once belonged to Captain George Conrad Flavel, who moved into the home with his wife and son in 1901. The house was passed down to Captain George Conrad Flavel's son, Harry Flavel, who lived there with his wife and 2 children until he died in the 1950s. But it was in the 1940s when trouble first started. Harry Flavel's son, Harry S., attacked a neighbour with a hatchet in 1947. After the incident, the Flavels became ostracised by the rest of the neighbourhood, living as recluses in the home. 40 years later, Harry S. went on to randomly attack a neighbour's car with a chain. He eventually stabbed the neighbour too. He served 7 years in prison, and when he returned, the family quickly moved out of the
Naman yung bahay, sinong di magbumulto talaga dyan, no? Nakakatakot talaga yung bahay.
house where it was abandoned for nearly 20 years. Having housed a man who was prone to attacking those around him, the question arises, could the creepy figure caught in the photograph be the spirit of Harry S., displeased with visitors to his once territory? Or could it be that a spirit with evil intent perhaps drove Harry S. to these violent actions? Both theories, coupled with this photo, make for an unsettling conclusion either way. This video was uploaded to YouTube in 2014 by user James McLean. It begins with the uploader stating he's been hearing noises all night.
Nako, ito mukhang nakakatakot to.
All night.
He begins to investigate when suddenly a guitar can be heard being strummed in the back room. As the camera holder investigates, something chilling happens in the hallway.
Hello?
A picture frame inexplicably falls to the ground, along with what looks like some wood paneling.
Yun! Oh!
Whoa!
The camera holder is clearly frightened as he backs away from the incident.
Jesus Christ! Whoa!
Oh, takot na takot siya. Oh.
According to a post on Reddit, an old friend of James died in the back room where the guitar can be heard.
See?
It's alleged that James often had dreams of his deceased friend that seemed unnaturally real. It was though he was talking to him in person. An undefined figure was also often seen lurking in the house but would quickly disappear. The Reddit post also announced that James sadly passed away of a heart attack in the same room in March of 2019. He was just 40 years old. So could this footage show James's friend attempting to make contact?
Hello?
Ano kaya tinutugtog?
Some viewers have noted the blurry quality of the footage, suggesting it was a hoax and that some string might have been used to pull the picture frame to the floor.
Jesus Christ!
However, considering the tragic backstory, it seems unlikely that someone would fake the footage for some cheap thrills.
Jesus Christ! Whoa!
Umangat yung ano, kahoy, umangat eh, no?
Many individuals post eerie pictures and videos on social media in hopes that others can explain the creepy stuff that they've seen. Facebook user Tyler Thornton did just that, with the photos he uploaded of what was supposed to be a completely empty house in Victoria, Australia. The photo, taken at the house of the Facebook user's recently deceased father, is a close-up of a window. Here, viewers see a glimpse of the kitchen, but what stands inside of it is what's gone on to divide the internet. Standing to the viewer's left of the kitchen is what appears to be a tall man holding and looking down at something.
Ito yun.
The man's face and body look grey and hard to make out, but stand out clearly across the black background. The uploader of the photo emphasises that no one was home when the photos were taken, and other Facebook users quickly began to post theories as to who the man could be. Some automatically suggested a ghost, resembling a man who's doing the dishes, while another user wondered if the man could be a squatter. The photo still divides viewers today, with no definite answer as to who the figure is ever given.
Kasi yung photo, parang ano eh, hindi siya ganong kalinaw na tao. Di ba may ganong photo, yung hindi masyado malinaw na tao? Di ba? Parang ano, parang solid, dapat solid, 'di ba? Ito parang ano eh, parang parang pakupas, 'di ba? Tapos black and white pa siya, oh. Eh colored naman yung ano, yung pinaka-photo. 'Di ba? Takot din eh, no? So yun lang, tutuloy natin next.